our ICTC European training for the Recover IT project. I know we have met before, but some new faces are here. So we'll start by quick.
Yeah, my name is Chester, the wizard of the time. I'm already here. I'm going for work on Nimba.
Okay, I am Master Senior and Quality. One morning to marry computer agent. Also on the program. I'm also a city man.
Mr. MOE Stroke County Service Center.
Yeah, we are doing.
It's good to know you.
I'm Josh Allen. UC Watch Officer.
Chance of our football process
See Alex
okay.
Today I'm coming.
All right. I know you guys are all familiar, so we want to first new business.
One info.
Okay, we just have one new intern. Yeah?
Senior Shemo I'm also part of the team.
Everyone, you know what
Saki.
I'll look at you myself.
Yeah. The user?
Okay, I'm Festa G. Lee. I'm the detective or Nimba.
Very much. We have two other members of the team to introduce themselves later. But this training today is geared toward making all of us familiar with the system that we introduce to expand your internet to your various facilities. So we're going to help you to be able to manage it by yourself as much as possible and introduce you to people that you can reach out to if there's any problem in country. If you didn't bring a laptop, don't worry. That's why we're using the screen. This is one reason why we say everybody should come up here. So there are a lot of things you're going to be seeing on the screen. To help them as training today will be interactive, but at the same time, we want you to pay key attention to the various details that we show on different dashboards. As we go, every 3 hours, if possible, we'll stretch to 4 hours, but that's our limit. We don't want to keep you so long. There will be a lot of questions coming up, but somebody will have to table it so that the training can progress. In here we have, who are familiar with the acronym ICTC? What ICTC stand for?
Information Communication Technology.
Okay. And what were RPM? RPM. So help us with our. It's a Recover IT project manager. So each site we have 2 people there. We have somebody who is the RPM and we have somebody who is the ICTC. So These are the two people we focus on for the training in the ICTC. The training will touch a lot of different aspects of networking, but just to give you a broad overview. Our key focus is this equipment. What is the cloud key? What is the controller? What is the USG router? What is the switch? What is the access point? And what is it used for? Those are things that we have been able to do. And what do you do? How do you access the internet at the various facilities? Familiar with the issue where we can say, oh, you don't have a bunch of codes. So we're going to learn create a bunch of codes. I was talking about. What's the idea? Give you a broad overview. So that's what when I said some of the questions we have to table it, would be depth quickly. How to work. Because that's why you PBC work. Any questions so far?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
After the training,
Yeah, we have resources. And we already downloaded them in folder. We'll share those resources with you if you have a laptop. Otherwise, we'll make reference. You can take it from maybe Robert at a later date or so. So yeah, resources will be shared. Yes. If there's no other question, I will tell you what to the facilities for the day. Yeah, go ahead.
So the training is day, right?
Yeah,
One day
4 hours
enough.
maximum.
Yeah, that 4 hours is it be enough for to do it, right?
Yes. It'll be enough to know my system. The point we want you to reach at will be enough. Yes. Serious.
that's what
Yeah.
the training is not actually a scratch network training. The training mostly focus on those who already in the RCT sector and the RCTC. So if you are here and you're not an RCT and you will be working along with the RCTC that is here, because focusing they say that all entities have an RT, right? So now the RT for the entity they expect you to get a network basic. So now they're going to take you from where you are, show you the equipment, how the equipment function, and how you perform your taxes. So it's now a scratch network training.
We clear? Alright, so I think we're done for the day. We will not be here. We are already leaving. And we have no other tasks.
Okay, welcome. Good morning to everybody. Working director of me. I'm P.Emmanuel, and I'll be your facilitator. My style of teaching is basically I ask you questions. Because if you ask the question based on your answer, then I will know how well to explain. So, network, a basic understanding of ubiquity. We will know them, and we will know how they function. just network. Let me erase the computer part. Just network.
Yeah. Apart from the computer star, if we talk about networking in our everyday life, it's like it's coordination between system or between
Information from different places to function as a unit. It will achieve an objective. Zero function of different groups to achieve some objective.
Yeah.
Yeah, all set. Effective, having with, if it is person to person, it must be more than one person, where two persons interact to make things happen.
Yeah. On a general note, everybody is right as it relates to networking. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the basic things would be income just to share resources.
Resources. Everybody is right. And when people started to develop computers and started to develop computer system, they look at how people live on an everyday basis. And it is based on those everyday basis that the computer systems have been built. It's just that to make introduction, they get to know each other. And the way through which computer communicate, the way in which they get to know the network is through the means IP addressing. In order for somebody to enter this room, if someone is out of Liberia now and we need them in this room, we can give a clear description of where we are, right? We in West Republic of Liberia, Nimba County, Sani Kole, the community, hospital community, in the hospital compound, in the EOC building, and no, this is not the conference, it's one EOC workstation. No matter which platform, once they have that layout, they will lay straight in this room, right? That is exactly how computer, that's how your information. By that, we call that IP addressing. IP addressing IP address is the two bits in full text. 32 bits. So if we count these numbers right here, yeah. So most of the time you see IP addressing 2168 or 1.0 or whatever. This is the address the computer use. Once you get connected to a network, the computer pick up an address, an IP address. And that IP address is what can be used to identify that computer on the network. If everything here, everybody computer into IP address will be. The reason why the IP addresses will be different is because if two computers need to communicate with one another, they will communicate with the IP address. If you have two computers having the same IP address, you call that IP conflicting. And most of the time with the new developed, it's hard for you to see IP conflicting because the moment you make an attempt to do that, they tell you that our IP address is already in use. Yeah? Okay. So, and you own this network. You own a network in your hospital. And then you leave from here and go to the CHT building. Okay, MOE. You go to MOE building. At MOE, you see somebody with the same IP address 192.168.1.25. So they change this to 25. 1.25. Slash 24. 255. 0. You feel like, but peace told me that two persons cannot have the same IP address. But while at the EOC, I have 192.168.1.25 at MOE, then I got 192.168.25. Right? So you would think that I'm lying to you. Yeah?
Sure.
The reason why you see here this IP address here is the same as the IP address on this side is because IP addresses are placed into two categories. They have public IP address and private IP address. Public IP address are those IP addresses that can be used on the internet. They can be used on the internet. And the private IP addresses are the ones that can be used on the local network. EOC have a local network. MOE have a local network. Between EOC and MOE, there are various routers here. And most of those routers are having public IP address. So for communication to move from here, a communication leading from EOC to come to MOE, it will pass through a list of public IP addresses. So when it reaches to MOE, it will find MOE default gateway. Okay, somebody thinking, what is this /24? Right? This /24, first I said there are two categories of IP address, right? Private and public. And then the same public IP address, they put all the IP addresses into three classes. They have five. They use three. They have five classes. Let me just make something clear to you. The IP address we're using here now is IPv4. IP address version 4. You have IPv6, which of course we have, I think one or two entities using it in IP right now. But this is what you will see maybe for the next 10 years. So maybe if you see something like IPv6, because we don't know, technology is evolving every day. So maybe you will find yourself in an environment where you see IPv6. Then you say, but please tell me about IPv4. And you think aloud to you again. So let me just get this one clear to you that you have IPv6, and what we're using here for this training is IPv4. All IPv4 IP addresses, the usable IP addresses are into three classes. We have class A, class B, and class C. In Africa, we mostly use class C IP addresses, and there where you will see 192.168.1.1.1. But you always start with 192.168. How do you know that you are in class A, class B, or class C? That is by a means called subnet mask. And this /24 is the subnet mask. Computers understand only zeros and ones. Human beings understand physical number and images. Every single thing you do on your computer, every picture, every music, everything for it to pass through the processor is only 0 and 1. When it is 1, it means it's on. When it is 0, it's off. The process through which computer do this calculation is so fast that myself I don't even know how to calculate it. But everything that you see on your screen is a calculation going on within the process of zeros and one. So if you have IP address that has /24, it means that out of your 32 bits, there are 24 numbers that are on, and the remaining 8 are off. So in the human readable, with our readable ability to read subnet max, we will say subnet max is equal to 255.255.255.0. You want to know why 255 again, right? If any math teacher here? Eh? Okay. Okay. IP addressing, this is 1. 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, right? So this first number take the 1 place. The second one is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 16, 32. 32 plus 32, 64. 64 plus 64, 128. If you add all from the first octet, from the first bit to the 8th bit, if you add everything is equal to 255. So you have 255. So with our readable ability, you say 255. But in a live networking environment where you're using Cisco, you're not using the 255, you rather use this 111. And as this number change, so if we change this 1 to 0, I mean we will have 9 and 20 ones. So this IP address here will reduce from /24 to /23. That's how we get subnet max. With this, it tells you how many hosts, how many computers can be connected to a single network. The /24 means that you can connect 254 computers to this network. Only 254 computers can be connected to this network. So sometimes you have to do subnetting, and when you're doing subnetting, you will be doing it in order to save IP address and what have you. But that the training today don't cover that. The next thing, the next question I will want to ask.
We talking about an IP address, and say if you saw this, your EOC, and you want the MOE and saw the same IP address, it means that the both of them are not on the same network.
They are not on the same network.
It is where I want the clarification.
But
now we have the CHT. The CHT, the network was set up by Nimba.
Yes.
MOE network was set up by
Nimba.
So are there any difference?
No. The same setup that we did on our side are the same thing. The same IP addresses we use on our side are the same IP addresses we use here. But you know where we are safe? When the cable comes from in here, they give you a public IP address here, right? Yeah. Yeah, because I call him to him. They're supposed to have public IP address. Okay. They have public IP address.
I'm looking for one guy from Leva.
Never, now you please.
I can't let you this device we have a radio phones get converted through all these ports, right? Every day. The public IP address that is used here is an IP address that is routable against another. The IP address that is used in this gateway, the USG, is not routable. It cannot be used on the internet. So all the IP addresses we have here, if we say going outside that they our IP address 192.168 or 1.25, it will not reach here. It will start right in this USG. Then the information, the USG now will attach another will attach some information to it. And that can be discussed at the OSR layer, the OSR model. It will attach information to it and send it into this this public IP addressing router. The public IP addressing router will send the information out from one router to another. We call that the next hop. From one hop to another. When you find a path to where it's going, which of course is the MOE, it will reach there. So MOE is using the Cellcom, right? So it will go around and find Cellcom service, attach the Cellcom service, Cellcom IP address. That is not something a human being can see. It happens before you snap your finger. It will attach to that IP address, reach to your computer before you snap your finger from a computer to your computer. Those in-depth explanation, you can get it when you're doing CCIE. Yeah. But just for you work that network, so my private IP address here can be the same on your private IP address there. But the moment we put the two networks together as one, we can't use it again. We have to use two different IP addresses for the two devices. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just addition to the question, because like you said rightly, they are private and public. If the computers must communicate, they must be connected. And like here, in here, computers are connected in here, they will be considered in the private IP range, and that will be considered local area network.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay. Okay, so if you have like the internet will be considered as the public IP.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is why this network and that network will not be able to communicate, because there are two private networks that are not connected. They are not seeing one another. So that is the question.
The next thing next question is, who knows about the two types of connection? There are two types of connection. Two types. There are two ways through which you can connect. Yeah.
Parallel and series.
Yeah.
Parallel and series connection.
No, that one computer networking.
Oh, okay.
In computer networking, to be specific, there are only two types of connection that can be made: wire or wireless. Those two, we can break it down into various pieces, because if you go to wire connection, we talk about Ethernet, we talk about coaxial cable, we talk about twisted pairs, we talk about sheeted twisted pairs, we talk about fiber and what have you. Fiber connection, they are all wireless. Then we have wireless. Wireless connection is the connection wherein connection is made, but there's no wire. Typical example, think of our older people here. In the 80s, the phones that were in the house, The only way you can make call is that you in your house, right?
Yeah.
The reason why you make call only in your house because it was what? It have wire connection. Today, it's still compulsory that you make call from right in your house.
No.
Why?
Because it's wireless.
Because now we have wireless. And those two connections have their advantages and disadvantages. In computer networking, there are wired and wireless connection. Example of a wired connection, connecting your earpiece to your phone, a wired connection. Example of a wireless connection, using your Bluetooth to your phone, is wireless. Another example of wired connection, right now, my boss computer is connected to this network using this cable, is wired connection. My computer is also connected to the same network without using any cable, is wireless connection. Anything that he can do with this cable connection, I can do it with a wireless connection. Yeah. So there are two types of connection, wired and wireless. They have their protocols, each have their protocols, they have range they can cover and what have you. So in computer networking, you have WAN, W-A-N, you have LAN, L-A-N, and you have WLAN. The WAN stands for Wide Area Network. Wide Area Network. Most of the time, I see people, they say, you got metropolitan, you got other network, you got other network. Everything fall under, it is either wide area network or local area network. Wide area network can be wired or wireless. Local area network can also be wired or wireless. But if you are using WLAN, it is a wireless network. WLAN stands for wireless local area network. And mostly the connection you guys been seeing in your various offices in few days is WLAN connection we've been doing. Let me give a little gist about wide area network. Wide area network is that network that, let me just say, wide area network is the internet. The internet is not just one thing that's sitting on somewhere you can remotely access to. The internet is the connection of multiple local area networks. Multiple local area networks. One example I can give you, there's a torrent that they use to download movie. I think it's uTorrent. They use it to download movies. This is how the torrent download movies. When you go in and check for that movie name, and you check that movie name, there's no server sitting down somewhere on earth that got that movie sitting on it. No. There's no server sitting with all the movie on it. No. Those movies, like I got torrent, you got torrent, they got torrent, everybody got torrent on the computer, right? Once the person in Brahma need that particular movie, once Brahma go on your computer and search, automatically the torrent will connect all of our computer. Whether you on local network or what have you. Once you got torrent installed on your computer and your computer on the internet at that time, it will connect. That's programming in the back end. It will connect. It will search and find a particular movie. You know what it will do? It will copy certain portion of that movie from you, certain portion from you, certain portion from you, certain portion from you. But as they come into our computer, the torrent cover now is put it together, so everything there appearing to be there. I won't move it. But it coming from various places. From different computers. But the moment it hits a computer, it will put everything together and make it to be a complete movie. And when you're looking at it, no breaking, when you get feedback, or according from a particular server somewhere, no, that will get in pieces that torrent will get it and will organize it That's the reason why I can advise people to not use torrent. Because if you're using torrent, if somebody is very good at bypassing and coding in the back end, they can enter your computer with ease. Not just a chase. Local area network. Local area network is that network that is based locally within a building, or yard, or what have you. It's local. Yeah. There's not force for a local area network to go on the internet. We can build a real vibrant local network that has servers and everything, and we decide not to go on the internet with it. And all the resources that we need, we just place it on the server. And when anybody gets connected, you connect the resources to the work. You want to do internal mailing and everything, it's right there. It's built in the server locally. And we will not go to the internet. With that, we will not need public IP address. But with the wide area network, we have a local network that will speak to public IP so that they can have access to reach to the internet. It's just that simple. To get to Montreal, you have to reach the contact. You get in car. Or you go on the airfield, get on helicopter. If you get to any of those two, you just stay in San Nicolas and you will not go nowhere. It's just that simple. Any questions? And the WLAN stands for Wireless Local Area Network. You got banana over there. So you can be munching on something. It stands for Wireless Local Area Network. WLAN. Now, for your phone to get connected to the internet using our system, right? You realize that your phone don't have a port to plug cable, right? Or your tablet don't have a port to plug cable. Or you need to use the resource. You need to get on the internet. Or you need to get on our network. Let me just say, on our network. What you will need is to connect through wireless links. You put the Wi-Fi signal, you will receive you that they both understand each other, which of course they understand it. We don't have that ability yet to know, because to be real with you, as we are here in our cell phones and in our pockets and what have you, they are sending out signals, sending out beams. But they're not touching anyone or nobody can see it, nothing. But the moment it hit the tower, there will be connection, there will be communication. But if the phone send out beams and send out signal, and there's no response from the tower and what have you, then on your phone you realize and say, what? Yeah. Because when it sends signal out, they expect it for the two signals to meet at a certain point. When all two meet, they get connected, then you say, oh, I got signal on my phone, signal strong and what have you. So that's how wireless LAN is. You have the radio up, your phone gets connected to it through a particular protocol. Work is on the internet, or if that network have a gateway to take you to the internet, then you can use your phone and do all the Facebook and what have you. Facebook, you can be using it on your local computer, but it is actually coming from a public end. So you getting that? So I'm gonna let get that clear today. So you will not think that, oh, you talk about local network and public, and why am a local network? Why you use Facebook is because into a public server.
Is the access constant?
No, we'll reach to that. We'll discuss static and DHCP. Yeah, we'll reach to that. Okay, now we're talking about switches and routers. I got one thing I can define it. The American people get it with. Or for me, I can tell people router give you access to the internet. Or routers connect networks. Let's see something. Router connect networks. And switch expand network. It's just that simple. Router connect networks. Let me show a typical example here. Right, there you go. Okay.
That man going through.
Jerry.
You lying already, man. Shit.
Okay. The device you see here is a router. Router. The two devices down here, they are both switches. If we say is network, and this is the MOE network. You know what? Network, right?
Yes.
So, few computers here. Choose the dual connection. Here is network A and network B. So we split it in two, right? The IP address here. Let's find something for that. In a network connection, the two networks can probably be across countries or what have you. Okay? For device A on network EOC, to communicate with device A on network MOE, it needs to go through network. You get to make that connection. Once you switch, that means it's just a single network. Switch is one network. Router will connect two separate networks. This is for Lone Star. It's part of Lone Star network. The everything device is part of Lone Star network. The USG device is part of the hospital network, right? The USG device up here is a router, another router. So for the Lone Star network to communicate with the hospital network, there should be a tool, right? There should be a tool. And then for the hospital network to be big, to have multiple devices, you need. If we connect another switch from here, if we take this from in here straight to another switch, we just expanding our network. But if we take our C cable and put it into the router, we create a stay there.
Yeah.
Stay there. Another switch and put it directly into this USG router. Switch and one USG or two switches going into that one USG and two networks will be created. So in this image, it will look like this. So I'll just hang it right here. In this image, it will look like this. We take the net cable from to this a port, and this will become a wire, this becoming another network. But if we take it from this switch and send it directly here, send it directly to the port set on the other switch. But if we take it from this switch and send it directly to this other switch, it's one network. We expand the network. Is that clear? So I think now it's supposed to understand clearly router and switches, right? Any question? It clear? Okay, let's go over to the next one called power over Ethernet. First thing first, as I said, how many types of connection you got? Two. Wireless. Okay. Ethernet. So I want you to get this straight. Internet is different from Ethernet. The Ethernet is E-T-H-E-R-N-E-T. Ethernet. Internet is different from intranet. Yeah. Ethernet. Power over Ethernet. PoE for sure. power over Ethernet. Every time you hear the term Ethernet, you're referring to cable connection. Every time you hear the term Ethernet, it is a cable connection. Power over Ethernet means sending power, sending current over the internet cable. And there are a lot of reasons why you will need to do that.
Sending power over internet cable.
Yes, sending power through the internet cable. There are a lot of reasons why you will need to do that. If you work in an environment where there's a policy that only wireless devices can get connected to the network, I mean, you will need a lot of access points that the one you saw out there, the one being mounted up to the various agency. You will need a lot of access points. And if you cannot send power over Ethernet to those access points, you have to plug it in the wall, right? To the power source. So that simply means if you have 500 access points, you have to have 500 socket outlets. And who willing to do that right now? To save you more money and save you time, there have been switches that are developed, smart switches that will send both current and data. So this is one. It sends current and data. You see this nano station. This is a wireless device. It communicates through wireless means. But in order for it to communicate, it needs current. Apart from current, it needs to have the data that it has to transmit to the next point, right? So, if we do not have wireless, if we don't have PoE, just put this on the side here, and the two devices need to communicate. We don't have PoE at all. The two devices need to communicate. The first thing, we will have to have one of these plugs. Plug the plug in here and plug it to the wall. When it's plugged to the wall, we connect this cable. We connect this cable to PoE, power over Ethernet, and connect it into the nano station. Okay? When we connect it into the nano station, we need to get another cable that we will connect to the main port and plug it into the switch. Right? So those who design networking devices say, instead of all carrying the plug everywhere we go, we no longer have to do that, because if you do this on this side, you have to do the same thing on the other side, right? So you have to buy more of the bricks, you have to buy more sockets for the wall, and you have a jump yard, right? They say instead of not doing that, you see this cable that is going out, this cable is going out there. It's going directly over the roof to the nano station that is there. And through this port, power is going to that nano station. So we no longer have to run another wire to plug it in. So directly from the switch, power goes there, and then the data goes there too and transmit. Any question on PoE?
The idea.
So
The
networking cabling, like I said before, if you're doing the networking at the higher level CCIE, then you have to know each cable in here, what is there for. But basically in networking, there are 4 cables that we use for data, and the remaining 4 carry the power to the nano station. And then networking cable, they have various types. This one in my hand is called the outdoor cable. Cap 6E outdoor. It's a sheeted cable. This is the indoor cable. Cap 6E also, but it's made to be connected inside. So if you touch it, you realize that it's flexible, it's soft, it's easy to handle. If you touch this, you see it's stronger because yes, so yeah. So everybody can take a look at it. In that cable, you have something like aluminum foil that is wrapped around. You have a little copper wire there that serves as a ground. And that aluminum foil also serves as a ground, but like likely a resistor. So it can consume lightning. And then the reason why the network cable, if you take a look at a network cable, the reason why it is twisted is because when you twist the cable data as a floating circle, it gets to where it's going easily without noise. But if you just allow data to flow straight through, you realize that if you just throw something, it starts to create wave. As it move in space, it create wave behind. Then there will be interference. So networking cable you have in every cap 6 or cap 5, whatever, you have 8 cables. Then 8 wires, and those are the wires that are responsible to carry current and data. But if you're doing CCIE, then you will know the function of each individual wire. Okay, somebody asked question about
Yeah.
That's my question because
Why
not everybody has that.
they are colorful. Each color can
if you're doing CCIE,
And you get the details.
you will go in detail to know what each cable is for. And each individual cable
Yeah. Yeah.
Push it.
yeah.
No.
no.
Open the camera and be clear.
I think one of the main reasons also is to create identity and how to locate those cables when inserting it into the jack. Okay, because it has favorite positioning. My question is with the nano station.
Is how the whole portion in the tree. I brought it in because I was explaining how you use all or Ethernet. Okay, now we get to static and dynamic. Then when I be addressing static or dynamic, what comes when something is static?
Yes.
Yeah, because again, neutral line. Yes, sir. You know you will reach. I said before. So IP addresses you will need some to be static, and you need some of them to be around the world. Then that will become useless. Example. See. Oh, okay. Yeah. If you won't go to Google, you come into your browser and type www.gogl.com and take you straight. If you get out tomorrow morning and they tell you say to go to Google and type GOGLE, the double O there. Will you feel very good about it? Because you already used to the GOO. So IP addresses that you do not change. You need dynamic IP address because you get essential equipment. In an environment where you have a printer, static, sorry. In an environment where you have a printer, you will want for that printer to use static IP address. Because if that printer is using static IP address, you can steal from any part of the network or from any office and send print. And it will go directly to that printer and you go and get it out. But if you put a printer on dynamic, today the IP address will be .25, tomorrow the IP address will be .32, day after tomorrow it will be .36, and what have you. And the reason why we assign IP address, static IP address, or we assign these IP addresses is because the language the computer understands, the human being brain is not powerful enough to do that calculation within the time the computer can do it. So for that reason, you will have to, like your server in your office, you will have to give it static IP address. Static IP address, again, is an IP address that you do not want to change. That is an IP address that is there for a specific use. You have a server, you give your server static IP address because when people come to work, they will connect to that server to get information to work with. So you need that server to be static. On the other end, you need dynamic IP address, right? Dynamic IP address, you will want to give dynamic IP address to people who come to work every day and they don't own the home. So tomorrow, if they don't come to work, the IP address there, and if someone else comes, they can make use of it. Is clear? Mm-hmm. Let me explain again. Dynamic IP address. Let's do it like this. We say this, all the chairs in here. Everybody sitting down. Anybody can sit down in any chair. Everybody get outside. And we give the boss chair, right? So nobody touching the boss chair. It's static. Nobody sitting down in it. Only him. Whether he come to work or he don't come to work, nobody touching it for him. But everybody else in here, you go outside. And then everybody come back in with speed, rushing. Any chair you touch, you sit down on it right away. So while you sitting here and you come back, someone else is sitting in a chair, you can sit in this one if it is available. That is dynamic. That's how it works. Dynamic IP address is static. But if you come and somebody and all these chairs fill, there's only the boss chair empty. You still can sit in it because only he can sit in the chair. That makes it static. There? Any question or any clarity you want? Any question? We clear on that?
Very clear.
Now, we go into something that we've already discussed, and that is wireless. Like I told you guys before, I said if you break the two type of connection down, you can take a 4-year college course in each, wire and wireless. So we're discussing exclusively wireless right now. So I will ask again. Anybody have any idea on what a wireless connection is? Yeah.
Wireless connection has to be a connection that does not go through a wire.
Once it's wireless, it will not go through a wire. In a perfect example of a wireless connection would be what?
The Bluetooth.
Bluetooth and the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when that definition is given, when you do critical analysis, it becomes somehow confusing. Because this, before the network, it is true that it's a network that goes through wireless connectivity. And before that wireless connectivity can be done, there must be a backbone.
I know that.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so no, that's
When we're discussing wireless connectivity, we're discussing between the two wireless devices. We know behind every wireless device there's a wire. That's the reason why wireless cannot exist without wire. Between the two wireless devices, between your phone and your Bluetooth, the connection between them. For every time you connect to a tower, the cell that you connected to, is that cable coming down, going into something. So know that behind every wireless technology, there is a wire.
Maybe a wire is invisible.
No, there will always be a wire.
The end user will not see the wire.
There will always be a wire.
Yeah, the end user will not see the wire.
And most of the time, the end user not have any wire they want. They really don't care.
When you connect your phone is on. So you care what
One don't start people do the connections, they do what second do order. It's none of your business. The highest thing you want is for your phone to be.
Yeah, you said the wireless is the common example, the phone and that of the Bluetooth.
Yes.
But when I enter here with my computer, immediately it recognizes the internet through the Wi-Fi.
Through the Wi-Fi, yeah, because
So is it now a wireless also there?
that is a wireless. I want to give example of phone and Bluetooth because that's one of the most common wireless connection you can find anywhere.
Example, you
Wire.
connect to your phone, where the wire is connected, like you see connecting to your phone,
So on a wireless connection, you have, I know you guys have heard of the 4G, the LTE, and what have you, and then we have Wi-Fi, right? Who has an idea on what a 4G wireless connection is? Why has what?
The only thing for me, I know on the 4G is that the 4G is faster than the 3G.
Nimba, the 4G is connectivity provided by a cellular network.
Circular network. Perfect. That's what I wanted. A 4G is a connectivity that is provided by a circular network. And then the Wi-Fi is a wireless connectivity. But get this now. 4G, the 4G wireless connection that is provided by a circular network can be converted into a Wi-Fi connection in order for other devices to get connected. Isn't it? So we have the access point, right? The access point is exclusively Wi-Fi. My cell phone connecting to the non-star network, maybe 3G or 4G. But once I put my hotspot on, I've converted my 4G that I'm receiving now I try to share it out through a means of Wi-Fi. So you see that? Then another thing, what's the difference between who have an idea on what an access point is and what a client is or a station?
Yeah. An access point is a point of connection that is like amplifying the signal to get to the end user.
Good.
And the client may be the end users.
Good. Thank you. Any other person? Okay, the access point I receive that access. Right? Most of the time, people don't know that with cell phone. Don't know where the access, but they just feel good that they use the service, right? Will you be walking around with your cell phone in your pocket, everything looking for the tower that you connected to? You don't do that, right? Your phone is your station that you use to communicate, and the tower is your access point. So we bring it down to our local activity. The access point there, very close to this setup right here, the nice setup. Every command I send from the computer, you have to go out there first. Then you come back in here before you go outside. So you see how beautiful it is? You have to go out there first, come back into this system before you go outside. So you see the beauty of wire and wireless, right? So when I send it, when I send command out, it hit the wireless point. The wireless point connected into, converted into a wire connection. It comes in here, pass through this, everything. The moment it reach up there to that state, that radio out there, it get to wireless again. It fire up and reach to another point where it will go through wire, if possible, go through fiber cable and what have you, and keep going. So you see, wire, wireless, wire, wireless, wire, wireless, until you achieve what you're working for. Eh? So is that clear? Okay, so now another question here again is, anybody have an idea on what can break Wi-Fi signal? What can be the cause to go back to the cell phone again? My network down. What can hurt Wi-Fi signal? Yeah. Let's start on Raul.
The concrete walls that we have here.
Concrete wall. Good.
Sometimes continuous.
Continue.
Yeah, how
Good.
big, large continuous.
Any other person?
Our weather condition.
Our weather condition. Good.
Big tree, mountains,
Lack of electricity. Good.
Or mountain barrier.
Mountain barriers. Right. Not having clear line of sight. That's another problem. Storm. Okay. So you see, Wi-Fi connection or wireless connection will always encounter such a problem.
Yeah.
There are modern structure every day. And you know how wireless sound, how wireless travel. Let me show you a typical example. Try to go on. Imagine you having a big top. A very big top. Imagine you having a big top of water sitting down, and the water turns still, right? And you put a hand in another You put your hand in another bucket, maybe bucket or cup of water, and just one drop. You just drop in that cup of water. Why is the fan happen? The way it starts to travel, and then it hit the end of the top, it starts to come back, right? So that's exactly how a wireless signal travels. When the access point send out a beam, it travel in space, and when you come across barriers, if it cannot penetrate that barrier, it will come back. Eh? And that the one that will come back with our voice, we call it what? Echo. In computer, we call it voice. Hmm? Then another thing that can cause problem again is all these devices travel at certain channel, right? We go back to the top of water. You take one handsaw, you take another handsaw, and you drop all two. Boom. What will happen?
You see the structure wave.
You'll see it will start moving. Everybody will move in that direction, but then you'll see there will be crossing over and what have you. That is also noise in network, right? So when you do a network, you find the channels through which you can set your access point that they will not interfere with one another. Some of the noise that we encounter are noise that we don't have control over in networking. Those are having a very big radio here. The everything radio is very powerful. And we have a small nano station there, right? Though it's back to back, but when our wave is going, small will still hit our nano station. A very little will hit. Yeah? But most of the time you will not notice it, but you can receive bit of noise within your network connection. The noise also travel through, it can go through the cable connection also. Because they want to reduce the noise in cable connection, and the reason why you see is called twisted pair. So that's some of the things that hinder our network. Next is power equipment. You realize that with this project, just to get a single switch in, a single switch, a single USB, and a cloud on, you realize that we brought a stabilizer, we brought UPS, and 2 extension cords, right? The reason why we brought these things is because these guys are like soft equipment to power. If the power just runs straight through them, you can have them easily destroyed, right? So we have the UPS, we have the stabilizer, and the extension cord. So that even if the power fluctuates, before it reaches to the device up here, it will remain stable. Because you know the farther current travel, the weaker it becomes. Eh? So before it travel through all the cables and reach to the devices, we will have it under control. Out there, we place lightning rod in the ground, and you will see that we have lightning arrestor. One very bad practice we get in Liberia, we don't ground our things. And then when something happens, Satan who's sitting now, who they're not dealing with us, we put the man in trouble at the work of the devil. Sometimes it's our own carelessness. We ground the building because we cannot stop lightning. We cannot stop it, we cannot control it. But we can reduce the damage that is capable of causing, right? So we added a lightning rod out there to protect the equipment that are vulnerable to the lightning. even though these ones are also vulnerable because they don't know building and what have you, but at some point they are still. Now we come to a major part of this training. You can please put your computers on. And if you don't have computer, just take a look at the screen.
I just want to ask some question, only question. From that one you said, is it advisable then that if we are in the office and likely is struggling to switch the devices off, or we can say people on the
You can keep the devices on. You can keep the devices on and you continue your work.
What? To be on the safe side. That's what I was asking.
But if you grant a building
If
and
you
you
run your
notice
building,
that the weather is not too fun, you call the devices, or what are they like?
maybe you mean the light bulbs?
Yes.
Or the light bulb blue, or you mean we can't
No,
buy
doing the building. Yeah. Right now, the way that people doing the wiring in houses, you realize that only 2 cables you're using. Use the 3 cable across the entire building.
Yes.
So you can raise it. Okay.
Now they cost business.
All right. The devices that we are using for that, a company called Ubiquity. Like you have Cisco, you have Genopause, you have Microtech. Ubiquity is another brand. Ubiquity, if I back, over. So you regional, rural area. That's the targeted market. To carry high speed internet connectivity to rural community. Ubiquity have list of devices. They have so many.